In the spring of 1453, a historic chapter in world history reached its dramatic climax. Constantinople, the legendary capital of the Byzantine Empire, faced the might of the Ottoman Empire under the young and ambitious Sultan Mehmed II. What began on April 2nd, 1453 as a calculated military campaign would, over the course of nearly 2 months, culminate in the fall of a city that had withstood countless sieges and the death of 1,000 empires' dreams. The siege marked not only the end of Byzantine rule but also the emergence of the Ottomans as a dominant power bridging Europe and Asia. The Byzantine Empire by the mid-15th century was a shadow of its former glory. Once a vast dominion controlling the eastern Mediterranean, it had been reduced to the city of Constantinople and a few surrounding territories. Its population was dwindling, its military capacity limited, and its political leadership increasingly desperate. Yet its walls, particularly the Theodosian walls to the west, remained formidable. Constructed in the 5th century, these fortifications had withstood sieges by Avars, Arabs, and countless others, earning Constantinople a reputation as the impregnable city. For Mehmed II, the challenge was immense, but he approached it with unprecedented planning, innovation, and determination. By April 2nd, 1453, Ottoman forces had surrounded the city. Mehmed, only 21 years old, had assembled an army reportedly numbering between 80,000 and 100,000 troops, including elite janissaries, cavalry units, and skilled artillery engineers. The Sultan's preparations had been meticulous. Massive cannons capable of breaching walls, fortified camps surrounding the city, and a sophisticated logistics network to supply his forces during a prolonged siege. Alongside the army, a fleet patrolled the waters of the Bosphorus and the Golden Horn, completing the encirclement and cutting off the city from potential reinforcements or supplies. One of Mehmed's most remarkable tactical innovations during the siege was his decision to transport ships overland across the Galata Peninsula. By moving vessels from the Bosphorus into the Golden Horn, a protected harbor on the northern side of the city, he effectively neutralized a major Byzantine advantage, the natural protection provided by waterways. This audacious maneuver allowed the Ottoman fleet to blockade the city from the sea, preventing escape or resupply, and demonstrated both Mehmed's ingenuity and his willingness to employ unconventional strategies in pursuit of victory. Throughout the siege, the defenders of Constantinople, commanded by Emperor Constantine the Palaiologos, displayed extraordinary resilience. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Byzantine forces manned the walls, repaired breaches under fire, and resisted repeated Ottoman assaults. Citizens, clergy, and soldiers alike contributed to the defense, embodying the spirit of a city determined to resist conquest. Skilled crossbowmen, artillerymen, and engineers worked tirelessly to hold back Mehmed's forces, and for weeks the Ottomans were unable to secure a decisive breakthrough. The siege also witnessed intense psychological warfare. Mehmed employed constant bombardment of the city walls with his massive cannons, including the famous Basilica cannon, designed to shatter stone fortifications. The sound of artillery day and night reverberated across Constantinople, undermining morale and signaling the inexorable pressure of the Ottoman advance. Meanwhile, the presence of thousands of Ottoman troops encircling the city created a sense of inevitability, reinforcing the message that no help would arrive from external allies. Despite the defenders' courage, the balance of power was increasingly against them. The Ottomans' sustained artillery attacks gradually weakened the Theodosian walls, creating breaches for infantry to exploit. Mehmed's forces, trained and disciplined, prepared meticulously for the final assault, coordinating attacks along multiple points of the fortifications. Psychological exhaustion and dwindling supplies further strained the city's defenders, who faced the grim reality that their time was running short. The climax of the siege came on the night of May 28-29, 1453. After nearly 2 months of encirclement, bombardment, and constant skirmishes, Mehmed launched a full-scale assault on the weakened walls. Janissaries, cavalry, and auxiliary troops surged forward, exploiting breaches created by artillery. Fierce hand-to-hand combat ensued atop the ramparts, with defenders fighting desperately to hold back the invaders. Amid the chaos, Emperor Constantine VI, leading from the front, fought bravely alongside his soldiers. According to contemporary accounts, he died in combat, refusing to abandon his city even in its final moments. With the emperor's death and the collapse of the city walls, Constantinople fell to the Ottomans. The capture of the city marked the definitive end of the Byzantine Empire, which had persisted in various forms for over 1,000 years. Mehmed II entered the city in triumph, declaring himself the new ruler and signaling the beginning of a new era for the Ottoman Empire. The conquest of Constantinople not only provided strategic control of the Bosphorus, but also cemented Mehmed's reputation as a visionary and determined leader, capable of achieving what previous generations had deemed impossible. The aftermath of the siege reshaped the region. Constantinople, renamed Istanbul, became the new capital of the Ottoman Empire, serving as a political, cultural, and economic hub connecting Europe and Asia. The fall of the city also had profound implications for trade, diplomacy, and religion. Control of the Bosphorus allowed the Ottomans to dominate maritime routes, influencing the flow of goods, ideas, and wealth across continents. The conquest also marked a symbolic shift in world history, signaling the decline of the medieval Byzantine order and the rise of a new imperial power poised to challenge both European kingdoms and regional rivals. Mehmed's success during the siege was a result of meticulous preparation, strategic innovation, and decisive leadership. By combining heavy artillery, fortified encampments, naval blockades, and overland ship transport, he overcame one of the most formidable defensive systems in history. His ability to adapt tactics, exploit weaknesses, and maintain relentless pressure on the defenders ensured that Constantinople could not withstand the Ottoman assault indefinitely. The fall of the city, therefore, was not merely a matter of force, but also a testament to planning, ingenuity, and the foresight of a young sultan. The siege also highlighted the courage and resilience of the Byzantine defenders. Outnumbered and outgunned, they held out against overwhelming odds for nearly 2 months. Their resistance delayed the inevitable and remains a testament to human determination in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges. Emperor Constantine XV's leadership and sacrifice became emblematic of this struggle, embodying the spirit of a city unwilling to surrender until the very end. In retrospect, the siege of Constantinople represents a pivotal turning point in world history. It marked the end of the Byzantine Empire, the consolidation of Ottoman power, and the beginning of a new era of geopolitical and cultural transformation. The strategies employed by Mehmed II, fortress construction, naval innovation, artillery use, and psychological warfare, demonstrated a level of military sophistication that would influence future sieges and campaigns for centuries to come. The conquest also served as a foundation for Ottoman expansion into Europe and Asia, establishing Istanbul as one of the most important cities in the world. The events of April to May 1453 remind us of the interplay between leadership, innovation, and determination in shaping historical outcomes. Mehmed II's vision and persistence enabled him to achieve what had eluded countless predecessors, while the defenders' valor and ingenuity exemplified the enduring spirit of resistance. The siege stands as a landmark in military history, illustrating how preparation, strategy, and bold execution can redefine the course of empires. Ultimately, the siege of Constantinople was more than a battle. It was the conclusion of a millennium-old empire and the birth of a new imperial power. The fall of the city reshaped political boundaries, economic networks, and cultural landscapes. For Mehmed II, it secured a legacy as one of history's most remarkable conquerors, earning him the title, the Conqueror, and positioning the Ottoman Empire for centuries of influence. The story of 1453 endures as a testament to ambition, resilience, and the transformative power of vision executed with precision and determination.